What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be taking a look at the moon in Libra and what it's like to have the moon in Libra in your astrological natal chart. So, let's get into it. What is the moon? The moon represents our mother. It represents our emotional responses, how we nurture others and want to be nurtured in return. It corresponds to things like the fourth house, our roots, early childhood. And Libra is the sign of relationships. Venus ruled. It corresponds to the seventh house and goes about how we experience others, how we express our desire for others, or how we, participate within relationships of all kind. So when it comes to the moon in Libra, the first thing you want to know is that this is probably the most relationship-oriented sign in the zodiac, right? And when the moon gets here, so there's a strong signifactor of Venus in Libra. Okay, we know that really deals with relationships. So when a planet like the moon comes here, one of the first things to go off in your mind is like, okay, this person, no doubt about it, is relationship oriented. Now, doesn't mean that there's some type of helpless or hopeless romantic. It just means that partnership means something to them, whether it be the relationship with their mom, their father, siblings. Their orientation into life is that there is me and there are others. Okay? So, more than likely, you'll find that these people are not necessarily the oldest, but are born into situations where, one, there are already siblings there, or a scenario, let's say we get this Libra moon in the fourth or the second house, there can be a plethora of individuals in the home already. So one born to a big family, have lots of cousins, okay? So when you see this Libra moon below the horizon, aspecting, a planet like Mars or Mercury, and then that position may be connected to the seventh house, you could deduct that these people come from big families. There are they got introduced to others and the dynamics of fairness and playing early on, okay? So, like I said, subconsciously, these people are conscious of others. And whether or not they realize it, their sense of balance and peace of mind comes from the ability to have relationships in which they can garner motivation and, I want to say, attention, but not attention for ego. Attention as a means of normalcy. Okay, like I said, just think about the fact that your moon, your inner self, is in the sign of relationships, and then the next thing we want to look, how is the person expressing this moon? And one of the ways they're going to obviously express that is through the house and the depositor Venus. So the next thing you need to do is to see where Venus is in this chart. Now, going back to the fact that this is the moon, and the moon is an extremely receptive planet. One thing we can say about people with the moon in Libra is that they're really easily influenced. Now, it doesn't have to be influenced in a way of that they're just going to go do self-destructive things, but influenced in the sense of, let's say this Libra moon is in the 10th house. Mom's public persona and the way she applied herself towards career is going to have a major effect upon what the individual thinks is possible. Okay? So the key thing here about relationships is not just having relationships or being around people to have that security, but make sure they're having the correct influence on you, because this moon is naturally receptive, and they adapt because they are peaceful, fair-minded. They seek to adapt to who they are around rather than have the person adapt to them. So if you're around a whole bunch of people who aren't as ambitious as you are in 10th house things, unconsciously you start to aim. You don't aim higher than the people around you. So biggest wisdom I'm giving you about this position, especially as an adult, the people you are consistently interacting with are affecting your abilities to succeed, and you have to become conscious of that part about yourself. It could be you can turn that influence, that part of you that is influence, into a superpower. But it's about being influenced in the correct ways, okay? So next thing that I wanted to say with this is a Venus rule sign. So let's say this Venus is in Aries, okay? Then that's going to obviously indicate that there's an Aries or aggressive, action-oriented expression towards how the person partakes in relationships, okay? So the depositor, where Venus is placed, is extremely important. It's going to give you so much insight into the nature of this Moon and Libra person and the partnerships that are good for them and what they'll attract, okay? So Venus is creativity, okay? And when you look at the principle of creativity through Taurus and Libra, what you'll find is that Venus's creativity in Taurus and Earth sign is much more about gathering, working with what I have. This is what I have, and I need to figure out how to utilize it, right? In Libra, the expression of the creativity gets presented like this is the masculine sign for Venus. So it is going to be expressed here. The creativity, what resources I gather, that is what I do with it. So there's a large portion of creative energy available within these people. But what I've seen from my ability to work with them is that creativity doesn't always get developed. Now, the creativity comes in many forms. The creativity could be just in the way that you put yourself together. So you can be creative within your personal appearance. That doesn't mean you're not creative. You don't have to be an artist to be creatively inclined. So one thing I noticed with the Moon and Libra people is that they admire artistic people, but with that, they tend to lose sight of how they are artistic. So once again, it goes back to relationships and being able to be inspired and be conscious of what those around you are reflecting back. Okay? But lots of creative energy, and if this ends up somewhere like in the 11th, the 10th, 5th, connected to the 10th house, or a large indicator of being able to have a job that you love, but is also creative in nature, that you're interacting with people, it's stimulating all of that. So naturally, the Libra moon is going to have the aspirations that the Libra sun would have to go into the law and to be a judge. But it doesn't always work out. Those are aspirations, but the Venuses and the Mars are going to show you that real passion, okay? And then when you look at the Venus and the Mars to find that love and that passion, the Libra moon in this scenario is going to show you how that is going to bring balance to them in their life, okay? Or how, that the Libra expression can help them bring balance in that particular area. So I really feel like it has a lot of potential, but you will need to look at your depositor. So let's talk about the relationship with the mom. Now, this one is a toss-up, and we're gonna have to look at aspects and all of that. So it's one of two things. Your mom is is either your best friend or she is not. She is someone who like that relationship, it didn't necessarily get to find the balance that it needed. So you'll have people who's like, yeah, I don't have anything against my mom, but she wasn't really my mom. So you have this moon in Libra in the 12th house. You have people who really love their mom, but they took care of their mom more than their mom took care of them. If you have moon in Libra in the 7th, this natural house, or in the 4th, this could indicate lifelong good relations with mom. Granted, you gotta take into aspects, you know what I'm saying? But mom, like, so let's give the two scenarios. If mom was there for you and your friend, like, and being your friend, that is going to, man or woman, one, affect the way you deal with other women, okay, and your ability to connect with them. At the same time, normally people who have, you know, really good relationships with that dominant parent, or the mom, they tend to be a little bit more close-knit. So, you know, a part of the culture, not necessarily that one that's meant to like break away or whatever. But then you have the one who kind of always wish they had more of their mom's time or attention. And, you know, for some people, if Mars is playing a factor in this, could indicate that mom was extremely relationship oriented, probably highly sexual. And these things influence your perception on relationships for better or worse. But all in all, the relationship with the mom, if it is difficult, will need to be repaired in order to experience some type of harmony. Remember, if your parent isn't who you need them to be, that's fine. But how you feel about them, or how you choose to let that thing affect you, is the thing to keep in mind going forward. So, alright, yeah, my parent hurt me, but am I over it? And am I letting that hurt affect other relationships? Big wisdom here with Moon and Libra. But really, a really good position for the Moon. This is my interpretation of Moon and Libra. If you have this channel, feel free to chime in. I always like hearing from you guys. If you need a reading, click the description link, send me an email, we'll set something up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do so now. Till next time, peace.